Morning, morning. Where are we at here? See future geometry, right? Degrees, I guess 10 or 11, I don't know. It's chilly in here. So we can't do too many sheets. I've got 10 large sheets of Takinaga. We're going to cut it in half. So it'll give me 20 sheets this size. I'd like to do more, but I can't do too many more in one run in this temperature because the stuff congeals while it's on the table here. Aoyama-san and I have cooked up a plan. He's going to work on it. We are going to get a hot carpet for the table here. You know, a normal, they got them in Japan for the kitchen. You women stand on a long, thin hot carpet. So we're going to put one on the tabletop here with a metal plate on top. And it'll help me get through the job easier without the stuff freezing. Yes, it's another sizing morning. It's actually a holiday day here in Toei, Japan. It's a national holiday today. We've had a long weekend. The shop was insane the last couple of days. January is supposed to be quiet for us. We've been waiting for it to get settled down and quiet so we can catch up on a bunch of back work. It hasn't happened. It hasn't happened. I think Cameron will be here tomorrow. He and I will be chatting about it so you can hear about it then. But it's been really, really, really busy. Fun busy. And we got a second batch of paper. If I have time for it this morning, where's the other go here? If I have time for it this morning, we'll do a second batch. I know young Day-chan, she has to do a bunch of back numbers. I know when we open the new subscription page a couple of weeks ago, ready for the new series, I also took the time to refresh the whole subscription section of our website. So it's put a bunch of the other older subscription series forward. And we've got a ton of subscriptions for older stuff. So the yokai series has taken off a bit. Lots of people are interested in those yokai prints we did 2 or 3 years ago. So we're out of stock on a bunch of them. So young Rei-chan, she's going to make a batch of them today. Or she's going to start making a batch of them today. So that's what this paper's for. It'll be the yokai double prints plus a Hanga Club print. So, and you go 360 and 240 on this. 360, 60, 60, 70, 90, 240. So that means we'll have 3 batches today because we've got 3 different dimensions of paper. I can't stack them up on top of each other when sizing because of course the brush would run off the edge. So I'm going to have to do 3 separate batches. I'll start with the main one, the largest one. We had more good fun over the past couple of days. If you were here on the stream yesterday, you heard me talking about it. YouTube has really doing wonderful things to us the last couple of days, last few days. YouTube is heavily pushing again a couple of the videos, mostly one, the old Carver video. And just streams, just stream of comments coming in. It's just great fun to read them. This is not good, you know, I should get it better. Look at this morning for everybody. What's it? For those of you who might be new here, our mascot is watching over us today. This is the gentleman called Fridge. We have a real fridge, and before anybody asks me, yes, the paper is out. In fact, this is Ishikawa-san's batch of paper. I just took it out of the freezer about an hour ago, and you can see what she's working on. She's working on the second print in this year's series. She might have the blue a little bit deep there, but whatever, let's see. It's supposed to look like snow, not like a seaside. Give the brush a few minutes to get going. I think we're going to work on the back side of the paper first here today. This is Takenaga paper from Iwano-san up in Fukui Prefecture. Our mainstay paper maker for decades now. So the prints go in the freezer. So it's a couple of things. Part of it is moldy. And here in the winter, there really isn't too much risk of getting mold, obviously. With the workshop, you saw the temperature, it's 10 degrees, whatever. There's not a whole lot of mold that's going to grow at 10 degrees. But what we do is we've just set it as a standard policy. Every day when the printers are finished, they wrap up their paper in thick freezer bags and they freeze it. And it's doing two things. One, as I said, it does help postpone mold, especially in the summer. Some of our prints now, there's a high number of colors in them, you know. The printing might be in a 10 or to 12 or 15. Some of the Heroes prints, the last one Suga-san did, it was 27 or 29 prints, 29 colors, and she made 100 copies. So that's like 3,000 impressions. It takes her days and days and days and days and days. So the paper goes in the freezer to avoid getting moldy. But the other thing is that our girls here don't work on an everyday 9 to 5 or whatever schedule. They work on their own times, and quite often they've got husbands, he has a day off, they take their own days off at different times. The point being, the girls don't work here every day all in a row to finish a print. They might work Monday and Tuesday, then she's gone Wednesday, Thursday, come back Friday, and then do Sunday again. So the time it takes to make each print is actually expanded. So that's where the freezer comes in. It doesn't matter. She can go in here and take a week off and then come back and do the last color, and it'll be okay. So it's mold protection, plus it allows the printers time to run their own lives and also get the work done. And we've heard actually in one other workshop, I was talking to a guy from another workshop, and he said they've started to do the same thing there. So this is interesting, stuff that we've started. There's 3 or 4 things that we've initiated here over the years that have spread out and spread around to different workshops around town, you know. One of them is the idea of putting your feet down. Everybody sits cross-legged, your knees get wrecked. It's the way it's always been done. We don't do it that way. We cut space in the floor. And there's 2 other workshops in town now that I've heard that are doing it this way. Give the brush a minute to soften up here. Okay, I think we might be ready to go here. Let's give it a go. 20 sheets of paper first. We're going to do both sides and then give it a break and then hang it up. Let's get this show on the road. Sa. Shoop. Shoop. Good start. I hear footsteps downstairs. There's the door. It can't be Cameron's son. This must be Skausan. It's the tea lady. Skausan, show? Good morning, good morning. Come and say hello to the waiting crowds. Thanks for the email reminder again.
はい、そうだね。おはようございます。
This is Skausan. She's working on the second subscription print right now. This is the one. This is your pack, right? Working on it?
そうです。
Deep blue. Show me
そう
something.
いやいやいやそう薄いのやってますよ。はいはいはいはい。
Lots of good mornings here for you.
え、なにな
The
に。
people are saying good morning.
ああ、おはようございます。
Oh. It's her paper anyway. Good thing there wasn't 100 sheets in the stack. Yeah, we did find a bear. No, after I finished what I was doing downstairs, I went up there to say, okay, what's going on? I look in the bearing box, it's not there. And I asked her, did you check, the workbenches of the other people who were working here yesterday to see if maybe they were using it and left it? She says, yes. So I go over to Rei-chan's bench. I don't want to poke around, but I look on Rei-chan's workbench. Nope, nothing there. So I go to Kawai-san's workbench, look around, look in the shelf, oops, pull out the shelf, there it is. So it wasn't kind of a big deal. One of the other printers was using it and didn't put it away. Not bad. Another new person. What we're doing is we're putting glue on the paper here. This is fresh washi paper we got from the maker. But fresh washi paper is not strong enough to use for printmaking. It has to be bonded together with some glue to give it the body and depth to allow the rubbing and the powerful process to go through for the printing. We've dropped the glue mix here. It's now down to 45 grams per liter. We had it up to, I think it was 60 at the peak in midsummer, but it's now so cold here, the glue level has dropped. I've dropped it to 45 grams per liter, and I've dropped the level of the alum inside the mix. I've dropped that to 13%. I know these sheets don't stick together. The glue is quite light. Like I said, it's a light mixture of glue. It's not so strong. And these sheets would stick together if I left them for an hour or so, or if I let them to dry. But we're going to hang them up in a few minutes, so they don't stick together much. The paper we're doing now, this is going to be for subscription print number 3 this year. It'll be for the 3rd subscription print. We've got to work ahead of the game here. The blocks for number 2, they're finished. Obviously, you can see Kasan's printing it now. The blocks for number 3 should be back here any day now. Johnsson's chewing through them steadily. Yeah, we've got 8 designs in hand now. I want all the designs in hand within, well, before, say, another month has gone by. Jed's really working on it well. He's on fire about this. I'd like all of them as soon as possible. And the goal here, we've got the schedule sort of taped up on the wall here. We want to have all the carving finished by June. And Johnson is doing, the idea is to do 2 each month for the first 6 months of the year for the carving. And get all the carving finished by June. The reason we have to do this is because we're having to double up on the printing. The first batch of 200 is now, it's not sold out yet, but probably later today or tomorrow we'll be done on this. I think we're at 194 now. I don't know exactly, so I haven't seen the orders for overnight. And when we get to 200, we're going to cap it. We're going to say, sorry, we have to switch to a waiting list. Because it's one set of blocks and not enough people can work on the same set of blocks at the same time. So 200 is the maximum we can do with the same block set in any given 1 month period. And if I had more printers, the block set would then go out to another outside printer and he could start another batch. But we don't have access to that many people. So we're filled up. All the people working for us are full. So we're going to cap it at 200. And then take a waiting list. But if I can get the blocks done that far in advance, then it means that any spare printing time we do get can be used for working on these things in advance of when they're actually going to be published. I'm really worried about this series now. The printing is very, very complex. That first one, my God, the printer struggled and struggled and struggled. Yeah, this isn't the first time we're maxed out. The first portrait series back in 2014 also maxed out, thanks to some help from Total Biscuit. So the portrait series maxed out, but they were much easier to print. They were 5 or 6 colors per block per image, so we could just keep reprinting those within that time frame. But these are much more difficult. I don't remember on the yokai, were we late with the carving? I don't remember, I don't know. it's just all blurring together now, you know, so. But by having now two extra carvers full-time, Kawasaki and Chonsan, they're now full-time with us. And by having two full-time carvers, it means we can really, really push ahead. So Chonsan, as I said, he's going to have the subscription set done by around June. And he's then going to move on. Kawasaki-san's doing the cats. He's working on ramen cats right now. Sushi cats is finished. He's working on ramen cats. Once that's done in a few weeks, she'll move on to sake cats. So both of them are going to need more work from me. So Jed and I are already starting to cook up some more stuff. Because with two carvers, we'll have them both sort of filled up on the current projects by early summer. And it means I've got carving, what's the word? I've got extra carving time to use. So that means some more new projects coming up around the summertime. Unfortunately, it's not backed up by printing staff. Oh, is there a question in the email box? I didn't hear anything. Did it come in? Just a sec. Actually, I've got my sound turned down really low here. Hang on a sec, sorry. Oh, there's a question. Yes, I'm sorry. Let me turn my sound up. Okay, I didn't see that. I sent a message by the Woodbuck website how often you check them. I'm not sure what the question was. I know I don't see mail every day. Cameron is the main person who sees the mail here, and he's been off for the weekend. So it's quite possible that emails over the weekend don't get answered. I'm not sure. If you've got a question, you can just drop it right now. Drop it to, no, here, just a sec. How do we do this? Here, there's one way to get questions in here. But it's also, I honestly have to say, I don't get through my inbox every day. There's quite often more emails that I can handle, and it's a question of triage. If it's a question about an order or something's missing or you know, something we have to do right now, we get on it. But if it was another question about, like, can you be my apprentice or something like this, those answers, they're every day, there's 3 or 4 of those, so I can't answer all of those personally. So I'm not sure what you sent, I'm sorry. Thank you, letter. Okay. Well, again, I'm not sure if it needed a reply. I'm sorry. Thanks for the feedback, the positive, the enthusiastic feedback. Email now has become just an incredible situation. I don't really know what to do with it. There is so much of it every day now. The 2 of us, me and Cameron, try and dig through it. Okay, there we go. That's the back side done. And now we're going to flip it over. Yeah, Aoyama-san, we fixed everything. I'm not sure where it is now. Yeah, nothing to apologize for. I'm sorry. You know, if I haven't been answering mails, whatever. Nothing to apologize for. I know I'm not so good at it, but Cameron actually really is very careful with the mails. If there are mails that really actually do need a response, out they go. It's just that he doesn't work here every day. Okay, that was the back side. Now the front side. And the paper's already now picked up a fair amount of moisture. So I have to put less in the brush now. But if it's too much less, no, if it's if it's not enough, then it gets scratchy. So it's got to be enough to get a full coverage, not too much to pool, and if it's too light, you get scratches in it. This is not easy. And always, as you know, this corner gets trouble for me. I'm missing part of the conversation here, I'm not sure. We are looking good today. Quite smooth, quite flat. I'm happy, happy, happy. It's going well here. Looking good. Is there no link there? I don't know. If you remind me, if I have a look at it later, I can easily do that. Don't size the cable, eh? What has become sized? The edge of my screen here now is coated with glue after doing this for all these times. This must be Cameron. He is here. I wasn't quite sure.
Yeah.
It's a holiday, so I wasn't sure if you were going to be in or what.
I'm in.
You're in.
And it's nice. First time in a long time. Had to unlock the door. Usually someone else has already been here before me and unlocked it, but the first floor door was closed.
Oh, because I'm sizing up here.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. Say hello. I prepared an email with notes here. It's okay, good. Notes
That's over
about
the weekend.
Yeah. It's been.
Wild.
There's last year's figures. Here's where we are as of last night.
It's January 14th.
It's 14, not even halfway through the month, and we're past last year's figures.
Yeah.
Pretty much right across the board. And subscriptions, we haven't even done the 15th billing yet.
Yeah, that's tomorrow's job. Oh my
It's insane. The
goodness.
shop was insane yesterday. 300,000 in the shop yesterday, and non-stop.
Whoa.
I got a list of emails I'm supposed to answer. People supposed to Kawasaki on phone. I couldn't phone back. Just crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Cameron's been off for the weekend. And
Yeah.
this not good.
Just gone for 2 days and they come back in here.
This year has gone nuts. I know we were usually January, February for us. It's our quiet time. I know there's very few tourists around. Supposedly, it's jammed out there. It's jammed with tourists
Yeah.
in the middle of January. I don't know what they're doing. They're just insane. So we're doing really, really very well. But the downside for us right now is we were expecting January and February
To catch up on stuff.
Catch up on stuff. Literally catch up. Empty the inbox. Get this done. Get that done.
Yeah.
That's not happening.
Is today the new person coming in? Is that right? I think it was for Monday.
It was Monday, but I didn't realize. So when I chatted with her last week, I didn't realize it was a holiday. So I don't know. So
We'll see.
she's probably going to be here, I guess. Yeah.
I guess so too.
I know the thing is too, though, I'm party duty man today again on a Monday. We're short staffed, so I can't spend a whole lot of time with her.
Okay.
So what we might do is, let's see when she gets here. She can just come down and hang out with me downstairs.
Okay.
And if
I can show how to scan and stuff.
there's no 10 o'clock party, so maybe I
Okay.
can spend time with her upstairs in the
get
morning
started.
and to get started, and then get down in the afternoon.
Okay.
Well, my brush is going to go hard here.
Oh, sorry. Okay. I'll
And,
get some of those subscriptions. I pulled up
yeah.
the inbox on the train in because there was no one on the train. So
Soka, of course.
I saw, wow.
What I did the usual stuff. The pumping orders
Right.
are totally processed and moved out of the box and into the software. And I moved the software back to your computer this morning. So that's all done, finished.
why was it not?
The subscriptions, normally I don't touch it, but I did. I just sent you an email right now.
Okay, great.
Susan, say hello, don't just wander through.
大丈夫か
Say hello, say hello. Listen, sorry, this guy. She gets dressed to do that to come in here. So normally I don't touch that one, but I did this case. There's a bunch in there I didn't touch.
Yeah.
But whatever, I sent
Okay,
an email
I'll
telling
go
you what's
look at
going on.
the
I
email.
needed to. There was an order for a full box of chibis Friday, just a few minutes after you left.
yeah.
It's the same situation. If
Yeah.
we wait for you, you can't clear. So it's all cleared now, ready for shipping. So
Okay, so we'll get it out tomorrow because the post office is closed today.
yeah. So
Okay, great. Nice. See you guys.
Oh, too much. That's where you get a break, you lose that little bit of rhythm. Susan just picked up her batch of paper, which I took out of the freezer for. She's working on the Ukiyo-e Heroes, the 17th print in the Ukiyo-e Hero series, the one called Two Souls Entwined. And she's probably going to come back in a few minutes to me and say, is the last block ready? And it's not. I didn't get a chance to do it yesterday. So I think it's okay. She's got lots of other colors she can be cleaning. Oh, John's here. Oh. She'll be back in a minute. I think she's coming through to pick up something to get her brush and stuff ready. So, John Amos is here this morning. Good morning, sir. How you doing? Have you got the next pair of chibis thinking about? We'll need another pair coming up in another month or so. Yeah. Get on it, guy. People are really enjoying the ones they've got so far, so I'm cool for more if you're cool for more. Yeah, someone's saying about the busy time. Now I'm getting really nervous now about March and April, the spring. I'm getting really nervous. Usually the spring is way bigger than the autumn. The autumn season overwhelmed us. Now the January season is, I don't know. Yeah, printing like crazy. I know. I've seen a bit on your blog. You know, I can't believe how many actual sheets of paper you're getting out of your workshop there. Can you pop a link to that in here? And this, the people who don't know, there's a name here. John Amos is here. John is a super printmaker, and he's doing a really interesting series right now, based on. What's the name of the trail? Appalachian Trail? Is that the idea out there? There's a trail in Eastern America. John's gone through there, picked out a bunch of different spots on it, a dozen or so, designed and cut a woodblock print for each of them. Very interesting work. Link, please, John-san. And it's a stupendous project. It's a total one-man show. John is designing and carving and printing. And he's not printing in the way that many Western printmakers do. Do a few copies, make a limited edition, and then call it a day. He's actually doing the actual craftsman's type, many copies. It's really interesting stuff. John, what's the deal on those? Is it going to be a subscription set, one by one? People have to buy the whole thing all in one piece? You're sending them out bit by bit? What's the... I didn't find any easy way to figure out how you're actually, getting that out into the world. Are you going through galleries? People buy through your website? What's the story? You're binding them and will sell online. So it's all or nothing then. It's the whole set as a single shot. Is it? Whatever. Okay, if you want to keep quiet, fair enough. Just I myself was curious as to what I have to do to get some, you know.すぐさん、
はいはい。
いろんな人がおはようございますですが、ジョンさんも今日、ジョン・エイモス、もう今日参加してます。
おお、本当ですか。
そう。
お、
すぐさん、おはようと。そう。
あ、言ってますか、ジョンさん。
そう。
はい、ジョンさん。聞こえないか。
聞こえるよ。
聞こえるんですか。
もHere.
ジョンさん、あ、ジョンさん、おはよう。本当だ。
Okay. Now, I'm not sure what to do here. I finished this part. This has got to wait for a few minutes before hanging, but today it's winter and it's cold, so I can't wait too long. If this were summer, what I would do now... Oh, where's my cover sheet? Who's moved it? If this were summer, this would just sit here now for half an hour while I do another size of paper and then hang them up. But this is winter. I don't dare leave this for too long. So maybe I'll start I'll do the back side only on the next screw and then hang it. We'll see. What's the dimension? Yeah, people, it's fun here. There's 24 of us here now. 24 people. It's crazy. 24 people working here. It's hard to believe. $24 in-house, and there's more outside, you know. Okay, I need the other brush. Or I could use half of that brush. What's the best way to do this? Are we considered a big business? No, we're a little guy. We're a little fish. We're nothing. 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 There are no big businesses anymore in the printmaking here in Japan. It used to be a very big business, but now it's nothing. But we're what's the word? We're a presence now here. Considering 6-7 years ago, it was just me working by myself. To have 24 people, we are a presence. We're kind of a big deal now in printmaking here in Japan, in traditional printmaking. We're a major factor. We're a major player in the scene here. There's really just us and Adachi left. There's really nobody else working as a main publisher. Places like Uchida and Unsodo, they're poking around, printing some of their old blocks now and again. But they're not major players anymore. It's really, as far as publishing new stuff and hiring tons of people and getting a lot of work done, it's us and Adachi. We're the major players now. Okay, what should I do here? I can use another brush, or I can use, let's see if I can do it that way. I'm coming back to that brush. No, let's use the right brush. Let's do it this way. I need to start passing my vision and knowledge to somebody. Do tell, do tell. That's the number one thing we're trying to do here. We are trying to train other people here to do all these jobs. We are trying to build a structure that continues once I'm gone, of course, of course. I can't pass the vision because that's an individual thing. But we can build a structure here that has a culture. And that's the idea. We're trying to build an organization that has a certain culture of how print should be designed, how print should be made. And that's our goal here, to build the company culture over the next couple of decades before I leave. And if we're successful at that, then they'll run for a while after I'm gone. If we're not successful at it, then when I'm gone, it'll pretty much fade out. It's not my problem, it's not my concern. I'll do what I can. I'm not going to sit here desperately thinking, oh my God, what's going to happen when I'm gone? What's going to happen? It'll be up to the kids who are still here. It's not my problem. Oh, there's a question. Can I get to it? Oh, a long question here. A long question. Talking about Vancouver, I have no idea about any supply in Vancouver at all. The only woodblock supply places that I know of in North America is McLean's in Oregon. I think the people on the chat here have a link prepared to it. There's a shop near Portland, Oregon that sells lots of woodblock supplies. I don't know of anything in Vancouver. I don't spend any time there, really. Just so people know, the question that was in the question box right now, they're asking, where's a place for woodblock printmaking supplies in Vancouver, Canada? There, somebody's linked it, McLean's. Bingo. Did someone just come through? Yeah, I'm going to Vancouver next month. I'm going in February 12th to 22nd, I think. 12th to 23rd, I'm not sure. I can't forget the exact dates. So there's going to be a big gap in these Twitch streams, about 1 month from now, in the last half of February. I'll be out of here. Oh, it's funny, you know, the reason I scheduled it for February is because the shop is so quiet, nothing's going on here, but I don't even know what's going to happen. So, but yeah, I will be out of here from February the 12th. We'll announce it. I'll put notes on the Twitch stream, you know. There will be a big gap in streams for about 10 days. I don't know if that's sticking together. I think we're okay. Bit of a race against time here now. before I go as well in February, there's going to be a couple of days with massive sizing streams, because I've got to make sure I've got enough paper on the shelf here for these guys to work with while I'm away. So I'll have to get a lot of sizing done in advance. So somewhere in the second week of February, so we're probably going to have 3 or 4 sizing streams, bang, 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 one after the other. So I get some paper ready for them. Well, training for sizing, Aoyama-san and I have been doing it together. He's a bit rough with it, so it's why I backed off using him for this. He doesn't do it with a very nice touch. It's a bit rough. So the goal really, what I'd like to do is have all the printers doing their own sizing. I know young Shiba-san, she's been doing it here. She's got a handle on it. She can perhaps do her own sizing now, actually, from start. But the other printers are all resisting. They don't want to do this. It's fair. I mean, they are really, really, really busy. And every minute that they spend mucking around with this is another day they can't be printing. But I really would like each of the printers here to have their own skill. But I don't know, it really is a separate job. It's the job of a separate craftsman. It's like making the paper. The printers don't make their own paper, of course. Paper making is a specialist skill. And this sizing too, it's so delicate. Temperature balance, touch balance, it's another job all by itself. So I guess all we can do really is just try and get enough knowledge about this spread around different people in the company, so that it's not all just me. It's just too much, too dangerous to have all the skill in one person. Especially when he's the oldest guy in the building, Okay, there's 2 batches of the 3 done now. There's as you saw at the beginning, there's 3 batches of paper that need to be done here this morning. 3 different dimensions. That's 2 of them done now, but there's no way. I can't move ahead and do the 3rd one now, because that first one is waiting too long. It's got to be hung up. So those of you who have seen this before know what's going to happen next. I'm going to call Cameron from downstairs. We're going to try and move this camera into the next room so I can hang it up. Just a minute. Back in 1 second. Cameron, Sam, can we try moving? Got a minute? Thanks. I've got the long cable on it today.
Alright. Stay super close to each other.
No, you can unplug it. Instead of unplugging it from there, there's another way to do it, is to unplug it from here.
Great.
So this one plugs into that thing. So we've got total flexibility. You can back off really. Okay, what's going to happen now, those of you who've seen it before, the main camera view is going to go down. It'll show you no signal or whatever it says. I forget what it says. And Cameron and I, we're going to try and move this whole batch of gear to the next room. It may work, it may not. The internet connection here is a little bit, the plug in my computer is a bit funny. If we go down, just sit tight, we'll come back in 2 or 3 minutes. Should we
Okay.
try this, sir? What do we need to do? Just a minute. Let me unplug the power for the computer. Get that cable out of the way so we don't trip over it.
The Ethernet cable.
That's down there. The internet cable's there. I'm gonna keep. You still get my microphone.
I'm gonna unplug the camera.
You can unplug
Going
the main
down.
camera. Main camera going down. Maybe.
There.
I'll get my gear here. So you're gonna bring just the camera, I guess, right?